Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Big Brothers of Destruction podcast. It's the Masaku.
It's your boy, Swag Switcher in the building. And
Man,
real quick,
go ahead.
I just had a quick question to ask you. Do you need glasses, or do you just wear glasses because you feel left out in the world?
I feel left out. I feel left out. I ain't gonna lie.
That's crazy.
I ain't gonna lie.
That's crazy. There are people out here literally getting laser shot into their eyeballs, and you're all like, I wish my eyes were a little messed up so I can wear glasses. Like,
I want to be like my little brother. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We try to be each other in our own ways. You know what I'm saying? You want to be good at the sticks, in the games. You want your brother to teach you how to play Tekken a little bit. So you know what I'm saying? I'm over here trying to be like you and wearing the glasses. There you go.
that was all I just wanted to ask real quick, because I was also looking at your it was your TikTok. No, it was your Snapchat, and I'm like,
those are blue light glasses though. Those are blue light glasses though. So I do wear those because obviously, on screens and stuff like that. So the glasses I do wear are blue lights.
Oh, okay, all right, so that's acceptable. That's fine. But
yeah,
I was just one.
I love how we start off an episode not even with wrestling. Just why the fuck is Maz wearing glasses, bitch? Well,
I just had to clarify.
Ladies and gentlemen,
anyone else wanted to know.
Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, welcome to another episode of the Big Brothers of Destruction podcast. We got some definitely got some interesting topics to go along, and it's going to be going with a wild week of wrestling as usual. And I know, Swag, you watched a couple of shows or certain things you didn't watch, but I'm real curious on what your input on this wild week of wrestling. I almost did it again too. The wild week of what? I almost did it. The wild week of wrestling and what that was like for you, because boy, I'm ready to talk about one specific thing and you probably know what the hell I'm talking about. So go ahead, hit us with it. This is I like to make this your segment. This is normally kind of your segment, wild week of wrestling. Let's go ahead.
As it's labeled WWW in my phone. Before I do, I wanted to touch back on something from our last podcast that we was talking about. In regards to R-Truth and how we was making a comparison about the Hulk. And so I went ahead and I did the research a little bit here. And turns out, as I looked it up, I should have done a little bit better with my works cited information. But it is confirmed. And I have it, I copied and pasted here, but it was like Bruce Banner in the comics. And they say particularly in the early iterations of Bruce Banner is often depicted as having DID, which is the dissociative identity disorder. And it says also known as multiple personality disorder. The Hulk's identity is considered a distinct personality within Bruce Banner's Erising form, and due to his trauma of his abusive childhood and the gamma radiation exposure. This is supported by various Hulk personalities that have emerged throughout his story, each representing a different aspect of his suppressed personality.
That's interesting.
So just wanted to touch back on that to reconfirm that bit. And that also reminded me of something else. It was a scenario I wanted to run past you real quick. Okay? So your promotion of choice, okay? They hired you and they're going to train you to be a wrestler and all this other stuff. And so you're there maybe 5-6 months, and then they're like, hey, I know we're still training you, but we got something for you. I'm going to call you up. Okay. And so they put you out there and you're doing your thing. but nobody likes it. They try to train you some more, but at this point, everyone just thinks you're garbage. Is that your fault or the promotion's fault?
I know where the fuck you going with this shit, and well, at first, when you hit me with this, I was like, okay, maybe he's about to hit me with some real shit. You really bring it up on shit again.
But this is real shit, though.
It is.
Answer the question. Answer the question.
It is.
The world thinks that you're ass. Even though you have been training your hardest, you're trying to do your best, they're giving you really crappy ideas. You know, you're trying to be the Mazaku, but they're trying to make you like this something a little weird, but like you're trying.
Okay.
But everyone is saying that you're garbage.
Am I working on myself outside of that promotion?
Are you working on? You are faithful to this promotion. They hired you. You're under contract with them. So I would say probably not. Like, are you talking like going to other?
Like, okay, because you mentioned before the first time I failed, and I came back. During that time of my failure, did I work on myself, or did I just kind of say, "Oh, well, I just move on with life"?
No, you've been training.
Okay.
You've been training. So you were training before.
Okay, if this is the case, a part of it is me and a part of it's the promotion. You know what it is? I just didn't get it. It was not for me, because there are certain things in life that is not for everybody, right? Because you could train as hard as you want to be in something. If it's just not for you, it's just not for you. But a part of that, matter of fact, a lot of that is the promotion.
But with that bit of you training, because think about it, this is when you first started training, you got maybe about like roughly 6 months of training in, kind of, all right. And then they they threw you on TV, right? And then everyone said you was ass. So they gave you a little bit more training, not a whole lot more training, but they did try to give you a bit of training. I would say, like, because usually, as someone who has done wrestling training, normally you'll train, I would say at the minimum, you'll train like 3.5 times a week is usually how that goes. And if you're an overachiever, usually there's going to be at least one day out of that 3.5 times a week where you can go and it's like an open ring type situation. All right. But because of the fact that when you go back and you're still trying to train, but you're also got shows and dates that you also have to still meet because you're still under contract. Okay. And so, but even then, you did improve. You got better. But people still say you're at your ass. Because of what has happened prior, and some could say you have not improved to the universe's liking, even though you did actually improve. But at that point, is it the promotion's fault or is it your fault?
It's the fans. It's also the fans too.
It is the fans' fault.
I admit it. It's the promotions. It's the promotion's fault. Yes, it is the promotion's fault that you were not properly trained for the job or the thing that you're doing. You were not you were given chicken shit expecting to make chicken salad. But here is the thing where I understand what you're trying to do, but that is not the only factor that goes into play. You have, let alone, yes, the promotion is the top reason why you are ass, right? But then also you got to look at the finicky nature of wrestling fans who, even though you are trying to improve and become better, we are calling you ass. So that will get to any person's psyche. That will create any kind of issue for any person who's trying to become better. So while the promotion is at fault that you are not properly able to do your job, it is also a portion of the fans' fault for while you are trying to get better, they're not allowing you to. So even if that person is a great wrestler, in the eyes of the universe, they are not. So it is the promotion's fault and the fans for not giving that person a chance to become better.
Then why the fuck were you trying to just put it all on Eva Marie the other week?
I did, because even if, okay, this is why I said before, did that person get the chance to go out afterwards to improve and become better? Because every person that has left WWE goes out to the indies and does something and becomes something. Look at Drew McIntyre. Look at freaking what's his name? Everybody they bring back afterwards when they leave WWE and they come back to that promotion after they gone out there. Matt Cardona could be definitely coming back at some point. And he's definitely made himself a well-known person in the indies. So here's my thing. While yes, WWE was really trash at how they presented Eva Marie, what did Eva Marie do after she left WWE? Has she done anything after her second run? Maybe she's probably saying, yo, wrestling has treated me this way so bad, I don't want to do it anymore. But how many
after the second run, that can easily be inferred.
it could. But this is what I'm gonna say. Then I'm gonna pull up Nick Nemeth. Remember how he said how many times, people keep telling him, why do you keep doing this to yourself? Why do you keep doing that? Because I have to do it. It is who I am. Right? It is a part of me, because sometimes you give, and you give, and you never get anything back. If it was really that important to her, she would have kept giving. Look at me as a sumo wrestler. As much as I keep trying to get back into it and my body keeps shitting on me, I keep fucking doing it. I am literally trying to rest a knee injury right now. Even though my body says, boom, bro, you probably a little too to do this right now. You probably need to lose weight. But what am I doing now? I'm trying to improve that. I'm not giving up on that. She gave up on that.
He gave up on that after the second try.
Okay.
Right? And that's not what we're talking about, though.
Okay.
We weren't getting that. We're talking about when Eve Marie was actively doing and pursuing wrestling.
Okay,
she's stopped pursuing wrestling at this point.
Okay,
the
but
first
even
time, go ahead.
Even with that, when she was first released from that promotion, the first time, right? What did she do? Total divas. That's all she did. She didn't push anything. So when she came back the second time, it was like, okay, now my employer has hired me again. Now I get back into the ring. What was she doing after that? After that first time?
After that first, she did go and get training. She trained. But if you can remember, when she came back the second time, I think she had like
they gave her like a really shit. They gave her a really shit comeback. I ain't gonna like it was worse than the first one.
It's like she came back and she barely had matches.
Like, she was in NXT the second time, wasn't she?
No, the first time that she was there. So when you look at her span, right? She came and she was in NXT for a bit. But when she was
in the main roster first and then went in NXT. Because remember, she changed signatures.
She was in NXT first, and then they brought her to the main roster.
But then why do I remember she went back to NXT for a reason?
I don't. Now I'll have to double check, but I don't remember her going back.
Maybe that was just me seeing her NXT run as that, but I do remember her going back at one point, and that was their way of like giving her that development.
She was in NXT when she first showed up, and when she wasn't doing well because she wasn't trained, she was in NXT kind of thing. And then, but even then, when she was in NXT, she really didn't have a whole bunch of matches. She had like at the most maybe 4 matches, and then they brought her to the main roster. And when they brought her to the main roster that first time, she kept on having the things where it's like she'll come out to the ring, but then like something would happen and she wouldn't have a match. She'd come out to the ring, her top gets undone, and she doesn't have a match. Like a bunch of that kept happening. That went on for like damn near like a month and a half of her just showing up, supposed to be having a match, but then the match doesn't happen. And so that went
That
on for a
became her
bit.
gimmick. That became her gimmick.
And so it's like that kept on going to the point when she just kind of like fizzled out and disappeared, and they kind of like stopped using her. And then she went to train some more. She trained with Natty and um Brian Kendrick is who it was,
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing. And so she trained with the Brian Kendrick at the time, and a
He
little bit
still
with
is.
Natalia. And so, and then like after going through all that training that she did end up doing, um, once she went through all the training, she came back, but then they put her with Piper Nevin,
Mm-hmm.
aka or with Piper, aka Dewdrop. And so instead of her fighting, it was more so her putting Dewdrop in her place to fight and all this other stuff. And then she barely had matches. I think it ended with her having like a match with Piper finally,
Mm-hmm.
where she got fed up with being Dewdrop. And then after that happened, poof, she was gone again. But we still get Dewdrop or Piper as
So
her name now. And so it's
so
like, with that comparison to what I was saying to you, and saying, if you had, when you put it, it's like, because for me, I won't even put the fans in it. It's
But that's
and
the
the
thing. You
reason
have to put the fans in it because the fans are the reason why she got the noise that she got, even in her matches, to kind of mess this situation up. Because you got to remember, WWE, even though they say they don't listen to the fans, they do. So if the fans are constantly giving you shit every time you wrestle or every time you have a match, WWE hears that and they will say, okay, boom. And then they gave her another thing, and the fans just kept doing it. They're not going to keep a product around if it's going to keep get like they're not like TNA. TNA, which they have gambled on Tesla Blanchard, because remember Tesla said that the stuff she did, racist comments, and any promotion outside of Mexico would have not touched her with a 10-foot pole. But for some reason, TNA said, hey, let's give her another chance. And she came back. And you know what the first fucking thing fans kept saying? Was she's a racist. And that was every match, every situation. But here's the thing about Tesla Blanchard that's different from Eva Marie. Tesla can fucking wrestle. Okay? And not saying that Eva can't, but like in a sense, every match that Tesla's given people is something fans enjoy. So regardless if fans are saying that she's racist in the audience, they're constantly telling her, you're racist, you're this, and that. Tesla still goes out there and gets 5-star matches. Well, not 5-star, good matches, right? I'm not
it's like
fucking
five
Dave
star.
Meltzer.
Let me.
I'm not Dave Meltzer. I'm not gonna do that. But she gives good matches, right? She gives good matches. Even if the fans are calling her a fucking racist, it's not even you can't wrestle. John Cena hears that shit and he still does it. So it's like, again, you got to remember the fact that it's got to be a part of one. Yes, you were not properly put in the right situation. You were not properly trained and stuff like that. But then even if those two scenarios gave you a shit experience, we literally have someone who is being called a racist for like the first month she came back to work, right? And even when the situation happened, she went to Mexico. She went to go still be in that thing that really is a part of her legacy and what she's connected to. Eva just said, fuck it.
She did say fuck it after being given absolute ass.
But here's the thing, if you were given ass in WWE, why not try TNA? Why not try another promotion? Everybody else has done it.
But see, the reasons why, and I can all and I can't, I could almost say for a lot of other people when it comes to this, because there's a lot of people who have only showed up in WWE, did their thing, and then once WWE was done and they was like, well, that shit didn't work, they were like, fuck it. Because WWE is it. Like WWE is the spot. She probably, as far as her concerned, she probably did not want to go anywhere else because WWE was the only place that she wanted to have and call home, kind of thing. There are people right now, freaking Miss Glamorous herself, which is something we'll talk about later. But like, she did go to AEW, but she has made it very clear the only reason why she went to AEW was to put her foot in the door to go to WWE.
And here's the thing. If say that moment with WWE doesn't work and she gets fired, guess what she's gonna fucking do? Go to another promotion. She's not gonna give up. That's the difference between this Eva Marie situation. Because, like, yeah, you have two situations where you are at every person's dream promotion, right? Every person goes to this dream promotion at someone. Cedric Alexander, dream promotion for him. What does he do? He's still wrestling. He's still going elsewhere. No matter how you put it in that situation with Eva, to me, you gave up on the thing that if you really cared about it, you gave up on it, right? There's so many people who get ripped away from WWE but still keep going. Fucking Eddie Kingston's a perfect example. He says he never wants to go there because they're not going to value him. And this is his life. So it's like, even if you were in WWE and they threw you a brick, he's still going to go back to the indies. He's still going to do something else because wrestling is him. You got to remember, Eva Marie was hired for Total Divas. She was hired for that. So it was like, even if she was truly a wrestling fan, you were originally hired for Total Divas. And then when Total Divas was like, okay, cool, we're going to put you in the ring too. And it just didn't work out. It just wasn't for her. She could have been a valet. She could have did something else. She just said, nah.
I don't know about that. I mean, as much as I would love for her to be a valet, valets.
She'd be a beautiful valet. Beautiful.
But valets is a dying breed. We don't.
It is a dying breed. But here's the thing. Eva was already hired because of her look. She's gorgeous. Fucking gorgeous, right? So even with situations like that, Eva is still a draw because of her looks. And WWE at that time with Vince is a guy who gives only a fuck about how you looked. He didn't give a goddamn about how you wrestled. So you're telling me the man who literally used to make bra and panty matches couldn't say, let's put Eva next to somebody to look good with. Matter of fact, make her damn Sable. She was with Mark, fucking what's his name for a while, and then became more over than him. So you couldn't just put her with somebody else and make her eye candy?
Unfortunately, when it comes to what you're saying with that piece, that part, we can't really say on a yay or nay basis, or even if because she probably may have wanted to do that, but she was only given the sticks that she was given, which then led to her not being in the place that she probably wanted to be, or even do the things that she probably wanted to do. Because she made it very clear that she wanted to wrestle. She wanted to get good in wrestling while she was there, but it was like that was not what the women's division was doing at that time. Because that was also still kind of sort of, leading off of the Divas era, at least for her first run. Her second run, we still had the whole Vince McMahon situation going on at that time. And so with that particular piece in that bit, I guess I can see where you mean by it is the fans, how the fans can play a role into all of that. And I mean, granted, the reason why she ended up not coming back is the same reason why The Rock didn't come back. Because she ended up getting more lucrative opportunities that did not need for her to have to be in the ring anymore, especially after they kind of did her the way that they did. Like, and of course, you and I, in regards to her, of course, we'd probably go out and find another wrestling promotion and wrestle over there and get our name big and this, that, and the other. However, I don't know about you, but if after trying and getting shat on by the fans in wrestling, and then the company after I was trying to get better, kind of thing. If somebody else was all like, hey, listen, I'll pay you the same amount of money that they was gonna pay you to do this. And I'm like, and you and I both know, as we've talked about before, sometimes the bag comes first.
It
And if the
does.
bag is like, and so she chased the bag.
And that is something that anybody would do. But what I'm trying to say also as well,
But I wouldn't
there's
say what you were saying about the fact that she gave up.
because the reason why I say that is because there are some people, matter of fact, there's a lot of wrestlers in this industry that they are going to choose wrestling first, right? And granted, yes, they're going to be picking what's good for their family, but they're going to also make sure it's still in some way, shape, or form connected to wrestling, right? Like, I couldn't imagine Daniel Bryan, right? Or Daniel Danielson, you know, Brian Danielson, excuse me, I said Daniel Bryan. Brian Danielson, like he's going to be connected in some way, shape, or form in wrestling, even though he's been told all his time he's too small, he's not big enough, he's not this, he's not that, and he's heard that all his life, right? But there are people that when we hear that shit in our lives, think of how many times somebody told you you couldn't do something or something happened to you and you said, no, fuck that, I'm gonna do it, right? She said she wanted to wrestle. She said she wanted to get good. Did she try it somewhere else to see if, boom, was it just them or was it me? Right? She didn't. So that's why I call it shit. Because if you really wanted to do this thing as bad as you say you did, why did you not try it elsewhere? Right? And that's why I also put myself in the shoe. I always try to put myself in the shoes of somebody else. And like you just put yourself in that shoe too, of like the bag is more important, right? But there's always going to be that part of you that says, but was it really me though? Right? Have you never had that moment what to say, was it really me?
So I can say yes, I've had that moment. However, just like how we just got done saying it was the fans and the promotions, she does not have to say if it was really her. I would not have to say, you would not have to say if it was really you. If you went through all of that training and you was trying to do yourself this way and be as good as you could, and then they was all like, hey, because as we know, there's a script, there's things that you specifically have to do because that's what they told you to do, kind of thing. You follow the script, but then the thing happens. You go back and
Mm-hmm.
you train some more. You know you improve.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The evidence is out there that you improved. But as you're saying, the fans
Mm-hmm.
did not accept it. And then not only were the fans not accepting your improval, but the people that you work for are not making your case any better.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, you know, you put your ass on the line and went as far as above and beyond as your physical body could do.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, once you got let go, it's not really a is it me? Because you know it's not. You know if you put all you had into something and you really tried to make it a thing.
So if you know it's you, then why don't you prove them? Why don't you prove that, hey, you made the mistake? Because I'm gonna go somewhere else and be a fucking star, right? Because yeah, any other promotion would see Eva Marie coming from WWE and be like, boom, put her in a fucking main roster, put her in the title picture, because you know they do that in every fucking promotion that's not WWE. If you come from WWE, we're gonna put you in the main program. Okay, cool. Boom, go somewhere else and show that, become undeniable. That's what every fucking person says in wrestling, become undeniable. So then maybe say if she just said, hey, just to prove to you motherfuckers that I'm actually a good wrestler, I'm gonna do one match. And then after I have that match, I'm never coming back to wrestling again because it was your loss, right? Why not do that? That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that the
And
bag wasn't big enough, the bag wasn't this and that, but it's like maybe she doesn't feel like she has to prove herself, right? Maybe she just felt like, okay, boom, that's what you guys feel. Fuck off then. But here's the thing that I guess it gets to me is because if you are, and this is, I don't know if you're quoting her, right? I don't know if you're quoting her, but if you are quoting her, then it's going to be like, well, if you really wanted to wrestle, you really wanted to do this thing, then why did you let that stop you? Why didn't you just try somewhere else? And if you can say it's the whole, well, it's WWE, that's where everybody wants to go, right? But as we can see throughout the years, WWE is not the only option. It's the best option, yes, but it's not the only one.
what she ended up doing would be the equivalent of you went through all that stuff that just happened, but then because I don't know if like we should talk about your side hustle, but like
Not really, no.
so in that case, let's just say everything like that happens, but then in your case, your side hustle, boom,
Takes off? Okay.
takes
Okay.
off.
Okay.
And now your side hustle that you originally did, hell, just like for her, she did that prior to even doing wrestling type thing. But now your side hustle is making you the same kind of money that wrestling did, kind of thing.
Here's
At that point,
I think my question is my side hustle my passion or is my side hustle a side hustle? Because I think it's I think where my brain goes into is that wrestling was her passion, right? And she gave up on the passion for the side hustle, right? So is the passion the side hustle? Because then absolutely fucking do that. Or was the passion the original thing you gave up on?
now unfortunately, I can't quite answer that for her
That's what I
because
feel like that was. Yeah.
I don't, I don't necessarily remember. Like I know wrestling was something she was passionate about, but because like right now
Mm-hmm.
she last I checked, like she was doing like a lot of stuff with modeling. She did some movie stuff and everything,
Mm-hmm.
like some on-screen personality things that she's done. And she's also kind of sort of like she kind of sort of started like her own little like business type ventures at this
That's
point.
what's up.
Like and so like but it's one of those things where it's like because that other thing I don't want to say that was, but whether or not if it was a like I in my mind, I mean, Grant, I think I see where you're getting at, where you're like your passion is your passion, and you should just go ahead and continue chasing that type situation and whatnot. But I also feel like with her, like to a small degree, and I see this with a lot of past wrestlers that have done it. You know, it's like she did it type thing. There's a
And
lot of
yeah.
wrestlers who like, hey, listen, I got the WWE. I got to do the thing that I wanted to do in WWE type
Mm-hmm.
thing. And to a small degree, whether it was yay and nay, and I think with her, I know there was a lot of fact that was like there was some negatives in that bit that
Yeah, there
kind
was
of took
always gonna
place
be
as
negatives
well.
around that time, yeah.
And so it's like at that point, going back to it, it's like I there's nothing that I need to prove. There's nothing that needs to be proved. She doesn't have to go out there and go to TNA and fight because for all intents and purposes, she already got to the best place that there was. She did get to do what she wanted to do there. It's just that they, them, they dropped the ball on her. She's got nothing to prove. She didn't drop the ball. They dropped the ball
On
on
her.
her.
Yeah. I could
And
totally
so
agree
it's
with that.
like, and so it's like, that's not her fault. And even if the whole idea of the fact of her going somewhere else to prove herself to be undeniable, as you said, once again, that's not her fault. it's not her fault that she did not go and prove herself over there, because at the end of the day, she became a big name on her own away from WWE, doing her own thing, whether it was inside or in this case, outside of the ring. So for all intents and purposes, she became undeniable for herself without having to be in the ring to do it, type thing. And so
you're right. But if you're gonna tell me somebody says that, and again, I don't know if you're quoting this. If I'm hearing that somebody wants to be in an industry like that, and then suddenly, something of that nature happens, yes, everybody has bad shit. I'm in the industry that I work in, my actual job. I've had multiple times where I'm like, yo, I feel like the company is doing me shit. Hell, that's the reason why I got fired from my last one that came up in May. Got put into a really shitty situation. But I went elsewhere. And honestly, best place to be at right now. Honestly, I'm gonna have to put you on at some point. Best place in the world to be at right now. But it was still the thing where I still have a passion to work in education. And yes, I had a really shitty situation in an organization, right? But that's where my passion is. And as much as I enjoy my side hustle, and that's why I feel like it's a situational. I really feel like it's situational because no matter how much we flip it, there's going to be the ideologies that you see in that scenario, and I'm going to see it in that scenario. This is kind of why we're always yin and yang on things, because the way you may see it and the way I may see it is always going to be situational. We can both agree to disagree that what WWE did to Eva Marie was shit. We can both come to that agreement that that is not her fault for what she experienced. But at the end of the day, I'm going to always say, well, then why didn't she just try it somewhere else? And yes, maybe that bag that she got was like, well, fuck it. I don't have to go back to wrestling. All right. And that's where that disagree to agree situation comes at. And no matter how much we have that conversation on like, yo, well, she's doing better now. Why does she need to wrestle? It's going to be like, well, then damn. Like, if that shit was ass and you really wanted to wrestle, why didn't you try it somewhere else? You would have gotten in the door anywhere. So that's where we're going to always have that conflict there. But the only thing we can definitely say, WWE is at fault. It is not her.
well, I'm glad I was able to get to see you recognize the error of your ways in that particular aspect, because last week you said something different. And that was the only thing I just needed to make sure that you actually saw. That was the only thing I needed you to see.
And
now that you've seen it,
and here is the thing, and this is the part I want you to see, right? Even if that is the case, even if bad training, all that, I'm still only given what I am given, right? If at some point
because you're also a fan, because we're fans, and because we are fans, and you didn't care about her like I do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You literally spent 30 fucking minutes on a woman you cared about just to get that point across.
Yes, but I see where you're coming from with the whole fact that she didn't go out and do wrestling elsewhere, kind of thing. But like, just as we was talking about, I did a double check, and pretty much she did leave to go other places and
to do movies,
take
right?
her name to other heights, like her acting career and a couple of other personal projects that she herself has had, kind of thing. So it's like right now she's eating good and she does not need wrestling. However, and here's the thing that I go back on, because there's a lot of people who I know that are like this. When she left, though there were some sour points and whatnot, when she did leave, because she left like whenever they kind of like did like the little budget cuts situations and stuff like that.
I thought
like,
they released her.
Do. Yeah, she was released. Like,
okay.
like when they do their
like they did it
usual...
because of budget cuts. Okay, my bad.
they're budget cuts.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
but it's like when they let her go, like she did get let go on good terms. And so, and as I looked it up, like she is open to come back to WWE in the future if, you know, if the opportunity comes up and all this other stuff. However, she falls into the category of plenty other wrestlers that I've seen that is like they don't want to go somewhere else.
Okay, so here's the thing. Knowing that she has the potential opportunity to come back, if she comes back and she is still the same, are you going to defend it? Or are you gonna finally admit, nah, this ain't it for her?
Now, in that particular case, I know when somebody is ass just for being ass. Okay, I get that bit. You don't have to sit here and be all like, oh, you gonna defend her after she botched that shit there too?
That's what
I'm
I'm
like,
saying, because
no.
if you're basically trying to put at she can wrestle, it was just she was put in a shit situation. Okay, if she comes back and gets a new situation and has an opportunity to prove that she can wrestle and it's still shit, are you then going to say it's the promotion's fault or this is just not it for her?
I mean, if that be the case, then it would have. Listen, if the promotion, because no, don't give me
You're
that
not
look when
answering
you
the
speak.
question.
Don't give me that. No, you give me that. Oh, here we
Because
go.
because
Get
you literally
ready.
are doing it. I'm literally giving you now. Okay, if the main
Listen,
conversation,
if the promotion brings her back and
mm-hmm.
she is not good, and especially if the promotion is like just freshly bringing her in like that, then yeah, of course. Listen, of course I'm going to say
Oh,
like, well, I guess she screwed the
but
pooch.
here's the thing: you're not thinking she's gonna train before, because they're not gonna be like, hey, you're gonna come in tomorrow, and you're gonna boom. You know what I'm saying? They're obviously, for her, because she has that background, she should have the ability to go train, prepare for her match. They're gonna put her in some
Yes.
situations first,
Yes.
like get the hype
I
going and
am
stuff
there.
like that. Okay. But then as they build her up as they do any wrestler, if she finally has her big breakout match, the first match, okay, you can have some fumbles, right? You can have some fumbles because it's ring rust. Second match, okay, you get in the program. Third match, you know what I'm saying? If every match in a series of matches are still that, then what? Because I think Monet is shit right now. I think her matches are great because the other wrestler is making her great. I do not like what Monet is doing at this moment. And there, for some reason, there's this thing where while people I'm not gonna speak for everybody. I have seen some things where people are like just a little tired of what Monet is doing, because it's like, while they'll say we don't like her presentation, the matches are still great. And a lot of people, including myself, are saying sometimes it's because of the opponent making her great. But at some point, when does it become you've had multiple matches to showcase this and get better? Because as anything you do in life, you are never going to be perfect the first time you do it. Excuse me, technical difficulty. You are never going to be perfect the first time that you do it. So we can't expect that, right? So when does it become a point of it's just not you?
No, at that point, no. I like I said, at that point, you know, her coming back and then is like, and she ends up still not being good, then yes, I would have no choice but to agree with the fact that, all right, I guess at this point she has just dropped the ball, kind of thing, because you know, because she wasn't out getting her you know, doing the extra reps, or she did not get the training that she did not get the refresh and the full extra bit of training that she needed to on the way in. So I'm like, yeah, no, I'm there with you on that. I'm there with you on that. You don't gotta like.
I just
I
wanted
hear
to make
you.
sure. I wanted to make sure you're gonna stand 10 toes. If they give her a whole program and the program's months and she's doing matches in between, she's going to house shows. We also got to take it to fact. If you're doing house shows too, that's when you're supposed to fuck up. All right. So you're doing all these things, right? And then at some point, matter of fact, would you give it a time frame? Would you give it a
Would
time
I
frame
give
and a
it a
certain
time
time of
frame?
matches? Yeah.
No, I know I would not. I
Okay.
wouldn't give it a time frame. Like if I find out if if tomorrow on Raw
Mm-hmm.
she showed up,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
then I'm like, okay, it's game time. Let's see what we
Mm-hmm.
doing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if it falls south, then at that point I'm just like,
That's
well,
first match.
I guess
That's first
she.
match.
I'm not even giving first match. I'm not giving first match.
I
And
would
here's
give it
why
that.
I'm.
Okay, go for it.
The
Go for it.
reason why I would not give it first match is because compared to where we was when she first started and everything, and then where we're at right now, like the Performance Center is 10 times better than it's ever been
So
at
you're
this
so you're
very.
not gonna give her a ring rust. Like, okay, it's ring rust. Like, you're not gonna give her that?
No, because I have ears at the Performance Center.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen and heard what goes on over there at
Mm-hmm.
the Performance Center. Like the way that they train, the way they get people ready and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. Listen, Jade Cargill is a prime example of what the Performance Center can do for somebody. Like
Mm-hmm.
she's still getting better, but now Jade is at a point where she can hold a match one on one and it not
Mm-hmm.
feel like we're dragging out a Goldberg match. Okay. So
Damn.
it's like,
I never
so it's
really saw
like,
her matches that bad, but that's crazy. I always like they're not like phenomenal when she was in
see the
AEW,
reason.
but they were like
Okay.
what I'm not saying they were great. I just didn't think they were trash like everybody said. Like it was like, okay, that was a match. Like, but there are people that was like it was like I wouldn't say dog water, but it was like they weren't great, right?
They were
And
not good for the spot that they tried to put her
yeah, they weren't.
in. Now, also, they weren't not just good for the spot that they put her in, but AEW also doesn't do a great job of hiding your weaknesses like WWE does.
They don't. Yeah, and that's why AEW, while it is not the all B option, I mean WWE is the all B option. AEW has its flaws too. Every promotion has its flaws. Um, I will say that I feel like any wrestler who hasn't been in the ring for a while, the first match, you are allowed at least ring rust. Because granted, I know you have wrestled and I've done stuff in high school, so I can't really say too much to it. But there is a thing about when you do something and you haven't touched it in a while. Like me getting back into music, my first track is probably going to be ass. I'm gonna keep it a buck 50, which I have rapped in damn near almost 10, almost 8 years, right?
Mhm.
But there's gonna be that little bit of like ring rust or that rust of like, okay, let me find myself again, right? And I feel
The
like that
only. Oh, go ahead.
I was like, I feel like at least the first one.
I I kind of feel you, but the only reasons why I don't fully agree is because of the fact that specifically with WWE, can't speak for like AEW and those other places because they're weird. But like with WWE, they're not going to embarrass themselves anymore and just put you in the ring with you not being able to do something or with them not being able to hide your imperfections. Okay. So like if Eva Marie showed up and they're like, all right, we're gonna have you be, we're gonna have you in a program that's gonna lead you to be women's champion later on. All right, cool. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take you to the performance center and we're gonna have you work one-on-one with somebody and we're gonna make you look TV ready. And that's what they're gonna do. And if for whatever reason they feel like, all right, we can't get our TV ready, they'll probably the Jay Cargill is the perfect format for that. They showed her like, hey, she's coming. She's gonna be on TV real soon. And then they sent her to the performance center. And what did they do when they brought her back? They brought her back and they put her on TV. She may have had like maybe like 3 or 4 singles matches by herself, just to kind of just to show her off a little bit. And they put her in a tag team.
Yeah, put her in a tag team.
So they put her in a tag team because in a tag team, especially since they're since it's like that on the clock training type situation, with her being in a tag team, she has that time to, when she's in the ring, she can work and do what she needs to do, and she can get her high spots in, the stuff that makes her important. And then for all the stuff that she's not good with, tag her out and let Bianca do all the work. Let Bianca do all the selling. Let
So then
Bianca
put
do
her in a
all the
tag
beat
team.
downs and all that good stuff. But what I'm saying is that she's not going to get to that point until they're like, all right, you passed the performance center test. Now we're going to send you out there. They're not. So if Eva Marie isn't wrestle ready anymore, we'll probably never know that she's not, because they're not going to just put her ass on TV like that unless she is just going to be a valet and she's not going to be fighting like that or something like that. Like WWE, they're better. They're much better than what they used to be when it comes to things like that. Because goddamn, they have a stacked roster of NXT people. They got these indie cats in freaking Evolve. Not, is that Evolve? Yes, in Evolve.
Oh yeah, it's Evolve, then NXT, then WWE now.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's like, because the fact that they have so much more extra kind of thing, that they're not gonna just blow their load if on Eva Marie, if at this point, like, she's not where they want her to be, kind of thing. At least right now, kind of deal. Like I said, and as they brought her back, then it'd probably be just because for the valet purposes. But sadly, as much as I would love that, like, I'd love any bit of that, valets are a dying breed, and it makes me sad.
Very much. You know what also makes me sad is that we almost spent a whole hour talking about this. We have way crazier things going on in the world of wrestling right now.
But it's a topic, and it's something, because it doesn't just apply to Eva Marie, though.
I know,
You know what I'm saying?
It's just the fact that we're revisiting it and shit. And
No,
I've been really excited.
We were going to revisit it
I've been
because
really.
I needed you to see the error of your ways.
I really wanted to talk about the crazy shit that's going. I've been hype about it, especially when I was driving in the car and I watched that shit live. I was like, ooh, I want to hear what the fuck he has to say about this shit.
Well, what is the thing that
The
you're
fucking
itching
pipe
for?
bomb, bro. The fucking pipe bomb. The pipe bomb, bro. You're telling me? Bro, I'm in the car. He hits him with the AA, the belt, and he puts him through the table, and then he grabs the mic. And you know what I said? Is this bitch about to do a pipe bomb? And he sat on a fucking turnbuckle, and he turned that shit up. Now, granted, the pipe bomb, to me, it felt a little forced, right? But what was cool about it is the fact that they fucking did it and the spiciness from it. Now, you giving me this face makes me feel like you didn't like it.
Trash.
You thought it was trash.
I didn't like it. I didn't care for it.
Really?
I thought it was
Really?
stupid.
Okay.
I thought it was garbage. Like, it's because, as you said, and the reasons why is just solely because of what you said. It was forced. Like, it didn't feel organic. If anything, it was more so. I mean, granted, if it makes me dislike Cena as a heel, boom, you did it. Congratulations. I didn't care about it, and then it's pretty much just like the whole idea. Like for me, it didn't feel like it was some epic ooh. And it's not like John Cena really fucking said anything either, in my perspective. Like it was just like, oh, okay, he's doing a rip pipe bomb here. It's trying to poke fun at CM Punk because I think this is like the anniversary of the pipe bomb, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know if it was,
Um,
because if it was the same day, then then that will destroy it even more. My thing was it was the fact that this was the wrong time it happened. Like if we would have got this at like the beginning of this heel run, even though it's not even connected to Cody, I feel like
um, before you continue, I want to let you know, June 27th will be the anniversary. June 27th, 2011 was when CM Punk did the pipe bomb.
that's for yes, for
So so it's the 22nd right now. So whenever the 27th is of this month, so yes,
14 years ago.
it is. Yeah, 14 years ago. And so, I mean, granted, I mean, I guess they could have still done it on like for next Friday if they was really trying to, but like, because next Friday would be the anniversary of the original pipe bomb.
I mean,
It's
I know the whole thing was also just the summer of Punk. That was also a connection to it as well. But like,
But no, but what I'm saying
yeah, yeah,
is
yeah,
to
yeah.
your like, which was the reason, because I think they said, I'm pretty certain they mentioned it, the fact that like the original pipe bomb happened this month. Next Friday would be the anniversary of the pipe bomb, and so, but I'm just like, I don't
If they
care.
did say that, and I didn't, I think I might have marked out so hard that I didn't even realize that, because when
That's
I
that they had to, because I don't give a fuck about CM Punk like that, especially back then. So it's like I wouldn't have just known that it was this month the pipe bomb happened.
I wouldn't, I didn't know either. I didn't know either. And my thing was, even if it was the case, um, I was more, it was more of the fact that like, oh shit, what is he gonna say? Like, what is he? Because he is a WWE guy. So if you're gonna do a pipe bomb, how is this gonna be a pipe bomb? Because
So
when, sorry, go ahead.
Maz, uh, Maz, I have to know, what did he say?
So he talked about the fact that Punk is pretty much the opposite of what he said he was, that he's a TKO guy. And he did mention pretty much what CM Punk already said to us, is that he's here for the money. He's not the voice of the voices anymore. You're a fucking millionaire. Like, you're a big ass hypocrite, right? Basically called him a hypocrite. And the fact that, like, if anything, I'm really just staying true to who I am. Now, granted, he did give those little hints, which apparently I found out they might be also a little jab at Colt Cabana, from what I heard, because apparently the initials of Castanoli, I think it was, or who was somebody said that it was the same initials as Colt Cabana, and they said it might be a jab to that, and I was like, what the
As a
fuck?
reach?
That's what I'm saying. I was like, that's a reach. Um, but basically everybody he had mentioned were old WWE guys, and some people were saying the fact, well, to me when I heard it too, it was one acknowledging AEW, acknowledging the competition, and acknowledging the fact that, you know, I'm the last piece of wrestling. I'm the greatest of all time, right? And even if you look at uh the original pipe bomb, the only shit that like really hit home is when he actually started talking about stuff backstage, right? For Cena's situation, yes, he is pointing out that CM Punk is a fucking fraud. He is pointing out that the establishment itself, that WWE, you know, this is the last champion that you're gonna have, and also hinted to certain people that were, I think they were did wrong, like Castanoli and all those people. He like hinted to those people. So that was the pipe bomb for me. and the nostalgic piece behind it. So a part of it was, again, me marking out because, oh shit, he's doing a pipe bomb, but it was marking out to hear what the fuck he was gonna say. And that's also what I wanted to hear how you felt about it, was like, with the shit he said, what did you think? And here
He
I'm
didn't
just hearing is
say
just trash.
anything. He did
He,
not say anything to me.
mm-hmm,
There was like let me put it this way. If you would have taken what he said in that pipe bomb,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
and then next week John Cena comes out to the ring and CM Punk comes out to the ring and they have one of their Cody John Cena discussion moments in the ring that they had
mm-hmm,
before, would have been the same thing. He did not
mm-hmm,
say anything new. He did not say anything explosive.
mm-hmm.
And if anything, the way that he was doing this whole thing, he was so fucking goofy to me. That's the
You
part
couldn't
that
take him
took me
serious?
out. I couldn't no him.
Mm-hmm. But
I
that, yeah,
oh my god, get that
that's John Cena just trying to be John
John
Cena.
Cena. Yes,
He
and you know what?
he's never had an intimidating face ever, bro. Never.
At least let me put it this way. Because when the original pipe bomb happened, this was during a time when I absolutely hated CM Punk as a wrestler, as a person, as
Oh,
an
you talking about Punk?
entity.
Oh,
Yeah, no, I mean, I hated John Cena too, but I
that's
hated Punk
weird. You
more.
hated Punk?
Oh God, yes.
Man, that's interesting.
I did not like Punk because the type of person that he was and the type of person that and the way he presented
Because he
himself
doesn't drink.
outside of the ring. No, no. Listen, 2011, I didn't drink, bro. What are you
I'm
talking
fucking
about?
with you, bro.
What?
I'm fucking
It's
with you, bro.
like, damn. Well, I was 20 at that time, and
No.
when I was 20, I did not drink liquor until I was almost 22, bro. Like,
Nah,
so it
I just
had
had to
nothing
get
to do with that.
I just had to hit you with that for a second, bro. You good?
But like, yeah, no, but it had nothing to do with that. It was just I just didn't like CM Punk. I mean, Grant, I didn't like him because he was also a heel. But then there was just things that I heard about the way that CM Punk carried himself and how much of a dick he is to
Yeah.
to people and like just the shit that he would say. And I was just like,
Mm-hmm.
wow, no, CM Punk's a shitty person. And some
Okay.
people still thinks he is. But it was like, but even then, at least when CM Punk did the pipe bomb back then, like with the stuff that he was saying and the way that he said it and like the passion that he had behind it and everything, though I didn't give a fuck about him, I heard what he had to say and I believed it. And I was all like, oh, he's really airing out some dirty laundry right now. John
Mm-hmm.
Cena just like if and it's like John Cena can have a serious face, but through this whole pipe bomb thing, it was a parody as far as I'm concerned. It was a goofy ass parody, and like you said, and like I said, everything that he didn't say new information. He did say things that a lot of us were joking about with CM Punk because of the whole Arab money and all this other stuff. And, you
Mm-hmm.
know, he said this, but now he's going over there doing this and stuff like that. So, like, there were certain things that he said, but it's like the way that he said it there was no dirt behind it. There was no pipe bomb explosion behind the stuff that he was saying. So what if he said Claudio Castagnoli's name? We talk about Moxley in all the time in WWE, or at least Seth Rollins has. Like, been there, done that. Who cares?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like it had no substance. It was stupid.
Can we
It
also
was
talk about CM
boring.
Punk sitting there for like ever?
Yeah, that was also
Ever?
kind of comical too. But John Cena did the same thing, which is why I was all like, "This is just a goofy imitation."
There's a difference between the Cena situation though when he was on the ground, because like Punk was already at the ramp, right? So he would have
Yes,
to make an effort to come to him, while Punk is just in the ring, just like
sleep.
oh, this is my
Snooze.
therapy session. Okay.
Like he's just sitting there slumped in between the tape.
Well, hey, just guess what, Swag? He sold an AA. You got some selling. You got
Well,
some
you
selling,
guys,
bro.
this has been a great podcast. You know, I'm glad we got to get the few talking points that we got in. You know what I'm saying? This is your boy Swag Switcher in the building. Y'all have a good one for real. Like, it's been fun. Turn the TV off.
Yo, turn the TV off. Turn the TV off. Yo, that is hilarious, bro. The number one thing, but he sold it.
Now listen, we say this now. After they have their match, I swear to God, CM Punk kicks out of one AA, I'm on your ass. Pause. But I'm on your ass. Pause. Okay? Because I would be like, hey, yo, where was that selling? Where was the selling then?
He got hit with the belt though.
Yeah, he got hit with the belt,
He got
put through
the
a table.
belt.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. It was
But
the belt.
so he was really selling the belt. The AA was just get out of my face. Get out of my face.
Oh my God, bro. Oh my God.
Absolute madness.
Oh.
You should be ashamed of yourself. How dare you?
Oh my God. Yes, that was hilarious. Yes.
Can't even look at you. Take a minute.
Take about me, puss. Pleasure. So, what I'm getting, Pipebomb was trash to you. What I feel is really trash is that the Ron Killings match was just for show.
Oh, bro, that just stacks on top of the whole situation with the pipe bomb. So I'm like, now you want to talk about something that was good on Smack? Jacob in Solo's promo?
Oh yeah.
That was good. That whole thing, freaking Solo out here trying to like get Jacob to accept his apology and all this other stuff, and Jacob was all like, nah, bro, I don't want to hear that shit. Only way we're gonna get this settled and fixed up is if you see me in this ring and we can put the title on the line. But just know if you cross that line, I'm gonna hurt you.
Here's the thing though. So basically we fight it out in Family Feud, but are we good after that?
Now, that's a good question. But which that is a good question. But I don't think they're gonna be good.
I know.
Especially after, because considering what was said. However, what I'm now interested in is like what Big Jim gotta have to do in all of this. Because he showed up and he helped Jacob out. So I'm just like, what we cooking up with this right here?
When you about to tag with your brother again, damn it. You ain't about to do that. You about to tag with your brother again.
It's so funny the fact that you were so excited about this John Cena and CM Punk thing, and there was so many better things that happened.
I was
on
excited
SmackDown.
to hear what shit you were gonna say about it, like, because I knew you were gonna give it shit. I was excited to hear what the fuck you want. I knew you was gonna say that shit. Yeah, because I was like, I know fucking Swag is gonna fucking think some fucking wild shit. I knew it, and I'll mark it out. Huh?
I'm like, is it wild though? Because
but I know it's what you're. But it was what you were gonna say. You know how when you're one friend, if you were next to each other when the shit happened, the moment itself would have been fucking iconic. Because you've been this fucking bitch ass
like when I'll be honest with you, I'm sitting here looking at this computer watching. As a matter of fact, it was right here where my picture is right here, right? I'm watching, and bro, the longer it went on, the more I cringed. That shit had me cringing.
And that's
And
what I
and
want to
to
see.
and to add to the fact of like, because I do agree with you. It was different when CM Punk did it from the Titantron because you didn't see John. They didn't have it on John Cena the whole fucking
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. You like
So
you might see
so
him every once in a while, like,
he's and he was he slumped up against the turnbuckle, so he's like, that shit did hurt, but like just awkwardly sitting. But CM Punk, because he's right there, CM Punk's gotta sell that shit like that put him out for life. Like I'm just like
there's no medical attention, no nothing.
yes,
Because
all
like
of
if
that.
mm-hmm, I
Nah.
feel like that would have made it better though,
Oh yeah, if they had
in
other
both
people
ways.
checking on him in the ring,
In
oh
both ways.
yes, for
Mm-hmm.
sure, both ways. But at the same time, like because of the fact that they only looked at John Cena a couple of times, but they mostly focused on CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was like because of that, it didn't feel as awkward because they're both just right fucking there. And CM Punk has to sell.
Pause. Can we also remember the fact that it was a Slim Jim's fucking table? So the pipe bomb was sponsored by Slim Jim. Did you forget that part? Yeah. WWE.
I didn't forget. I let me put it this way, because I did acknowledge it. And I only acknowledge and the only time I acknowledged it was when John Cena went under the ring and he pulled out the table. And I was and only because of because other people on the internet complain about that shit so much. That was the only reason why I acknowledged it the one time. I was like, he pulls it out, I'm like, oh, I guess the rest of this segment is sponsored by Slim Jim, huh? Then he puts him through the table, and then John Cena sits on a turnbuckle, and I'm like, okay, what's happening? And how I knew that this was about to be some goofy ass shit was when he starts talking, right? But his microphone's working just fine. But he's acting as if they tried to cut it off on him. They didn't, by the way. Like they didn't cut the microphone off on him. Like so he's talking and then he just does the whole thing. And it's like and that's when I'm like, wait, is he trying to like do the pipe bomb? This is so fabricated because they didn't turn his mic off, and then he's acting all like, "Oh, what you afraid of? What I'm going to say?" While in my mind, I just see the guy on the other end, like, "What do you mean? The mic's on. What are you doing?" Like, it's like,
Like Cena, what are you talking about, bro? We're
I
rolling.
seen it. No,
Go ahead.
he's like, "What are you afraid of?" This is like, "No, the mic's on. You're good. You're good. Go ahead. I turned it on. It's good." Like, I was like, and then he starts going, and I'm just like, okay, okay. And I heard everything he had to say, but I'm just like, and he's giving all these facial expressions, and he could go because it was a joke, plain and simple.
Damn.
The John Cena pipe bomb was a fucking joke.
Oh shit.
Where
Oh,
where CM Punk did a pipe bomb, those fucking those little white TNT
he
packs that
did
you
he
throw on the
did the
ground?
he did the sprinklers from the death match, is what you're telling me.
Not even sprinklers. I'm talking so like those
Those little
oh,
pop
man.
things that we throw them down. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a popper. That's what John Cena gave. He gave a popper. Just a that's all that was for me.
Okay. Okay.
You know what was better
Well,
than that pipe bomb?
yeah, go ahead.
Oscar going to the finals.
You
Oscar going
goddamn
to the
right.
finals on SmackDown.
Goddamn
You know what's
right.
better than the pipe bomb? Randy Orton's match. Hell, you know what was better than the pipe bomb? Hangman coming on AEW and speaking a
And
whole
speaking
promo in
Spanish,
Spanish.
bro, that shit was cold blooded, bro. That shit was fire.
Now, I popped for that.
I remember watching it because they translated it too. They did an upload where they translated it. I was like, yo,
Like
let me
that
find that movie and learn Spanish, my bro. What's up?
you feel me? I was like, now that's what I call cowboy shit right there. That's some
That,
cowboy shit.
I mean, because you will, as a cowboy, you do oftentimes deal with some Mexicans.
Exactly.
So you might as well learn.
Which when he first came out and then he started talking in Spanish, I was like, huh. But
Maybe
then
the
as I'm listening, I'm
hola.
like,
I was thinking maybe you just
yeah,
say hola, and then maybe like I'm, something small, and then finish the rest. And no, he kept going.
oh, he kept going. And the more he kept going, I was all like, okay, cowboy. Oh, you were on some real cowboy shit tonight. Go ahead. I'll find out what you said later. I like this. And he did it very. It's funny. There were certain things that he said where it's all like, boy, he sound real white saying that in Spanish, but
Which
but
I like to call my wife is spicy white. Spicy white. She dapped me up earlier. She was like having like help her up, and you know how the contact of the
Mm,
dap, it
mm.
was solid, and I was like, I went with the, but continue.
Have I ever showed you the Dap Up tournament videos?
Is that the where Kai Cenat did?
Wait, I forget. I don't remember.
That
It's on
Kai Cenat
Instagram though.
Kai Cenat did a thing back in the day where he was in like a prison scenario, and
Mm.
they were like trying to find something fun to do. So what they did was they'll get in a
Oh,
circle and they'll just dap up everybody till they get the most solid dap.
oh, it's not that. And
Mm,
because you have not seen, I'll hook you up later. But
yeah.
But yeah, which when it comes to AEW, that was the only thing that was really noteworthy. AEW was I think that was the first time I felt like I watched like a full on filler episode of wrestling. Last
Like in a
AEW.
bad way?
Well, for viewing purposes, no, because it was all good wrestling because that's what AEW does.
But when you
They
said
I
filler, I was thinking like, okay, this was a pointless thing.
Yes,
Okay.
as in just because like filler episodes, they're fun to watch, but they don't do anything to progress the plot.
Okay.
And nothing progressed plot wise on the it was what did they call it? The because it was meant like
Aztec, it's Aztec something. I know I can't remember off the tip of my tongue.
because they was in that famous arena in Mexico and stuff. And so like it was the biggest filler episode where I mean truly nothing progressed. Oh well,
There
I mean, I guess if you want to say the only thing that I guess you would say is still canon as far as anything that happened is the fact that, Mercedes got her,
she got another
1001
fucking
title.
belt, bro.
And the match wasn't even that good. The match was it felt forced. It felt forced and rushed and it was really quick. Like it was
Tony told CMML, "Hey yo, I know you want to do this shit because WWE, Monet got to get the belt because I mark out for Monet. She sends me feet pics.
and I feel like her feet probably ain't even that great. Like
That's
she's
crazy.
small. Like
That's crazy. But no, I'm just saying, bro. Like you remember, she had a whole friend service. We even talked about in the previous episode for that specific dollar amount. What makes you think Tony's like, hey, Monet, where you at? She's like, I'm out here getting a pedicure done. Word. Let me see that pedicure.
you see that.
Let me see that. Anyway, let's continue on. What were the other great things about this week? Because now we're finally actually going into the wonderful week of wrestling.
I mean, so well, do we want to talk about the great things or like the stuff that's ass
We
or
could talk
just
about
the
the good, the
general?
bad, and the ugly.
Oh, that's a good. All right, so in that case, uh if we're talking good, bad, and the ugly, number one, I have to say I am absolutely down with Trick Williams and the things that he's doing with First Class.
I will agree.
Like that shit has been fantastic. Also, the Glamour signing her contract and facing up with the women's champion. A lot of people are saying the fact that they're going to give her the belt like ASAP.
Yeah, she is.
Like she's good. Like because they're having this whole tournament right now, right? On NXT. Who I think what is it? Jade Parker, Lash Legend, what's her name, like Izzy Dane or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason I forgot who was the last person to get the spot, but this next coming NXT they're supposed to be having a match to see who's going to be the number one contenders for the title kind of thing. And they're in
Mm-hmm.
that I think that person's supposed to fight at the all women's pay-per-view that's supposed to be coming up.
Evolution.
uh the Evolution. And so like that whole thing is going on. I did make a note the fact that like Lash Legends theme song sounds goofy as hell. Like it
Golf
sounds
Rebel.
it doesn't sound good. Like it's so weird. But like I need to see how do you feel about the new Mariah May. I forget what they gave her name now because I just
It's
called her Miss Glamour.
it's
Blake Monroe. There it is.
yeah, you go, Blake Monroe.
Yeah.
I know Marilyn Monroe is connected to it. Um,
How do you feel about this gimmick right now? That she's got they gave her.
I mean, it's literally timeless.
That's all you got?
I
That's
mean,
just all
because
you got?
it's literally the same shit. It's just now she's more of a, instead of like the old school movie scenario with Toni Storm, this is more of a updated version, I guess. But she's still the same woman. It's just the name is
Where Tony Storm is timeless,
old school
early
era.
to late 1940s film.
Mm-hmm.
Uh Monroe is mid to late 50s
She has color.
kind of showing. Exactly. Literally she has
She
color.
has color.
And so that's the perfect way to put it. I was just I was curious to see what was your take on her, considering the fact that Tony Storm is your woman and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like,
She's timeless. Um, I feel like, I mean, the gimmick is great. I'm gonna see how she does it in NXT. The thing that Toni does that makes the gimmick great for me is she cuts amazing, funny ass promos. Her wrestling is it's good, but it's the character that sells me more than anything else. So with Monroe, if she has either one a similar character or similar style, now we're going to be put into a situation.
oh, I agree. I myself am eager to see how glamorous versus timeless is going to kind of
Mm-hmm.
sort of portray itself as these two different entities, because I just wanted to see if you were also going to say it, because I didn't want to outright say it myself.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, everybody else is definitely saying it, that like a lot of people are saying it's like, so she's just a rip off Tony Storm is what we're doing right now. And
Literally.
so like I mean it is, but
But
it's
also
like
a part of it could be the fact that like Toni and her are probably really cool friends. And she's like, hey, you know what? Take it and go to WWE, you know?
oh,
Because some
I
wrestlers do
wish I could
that.
get I wish I could get confirmation on that, because you say some wrestlers do that. Well,
With moves,
wrestler
especially with
wrestlers
moves.
wrestlers that do that, usually 9 times out of 10 they're like, yeah, you can do it because I'm fucking retired and I'm not doing it anymore. Timeless Toni Storm, she is white hot right now. She is prime. Okay.
She's
And so,
undeniable. She's undeniable.
sure. Where, because she's in the spot that she's in right now, for our glamorous one to be doing what she's doing right now and be so close to Tony Storm, listen, you know, in the past there are dudes who said I would have pulled a gun on that motherfucker if he tried to try to use my gimmick like that. Fuck out of here. You know, while I'm still actively doing it. I'm interested to see, because the difference right now, and I can't even say the difference. I would say what makes Toni Storm what she is right now is the fact that she not just full tilt, she just completely flatline falls into her gimmick that she has put
Mm-hmm.
in. She goes 120% in on this timeless thing, which you have to, because if you don't do that, then it comes off very Dr. Yankums ish. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so I'm curious to see how far of a tilt into this 1950s glamour that we're going to go into, aka timeless with color. I'm
Mm-hmm.
very interested to see how, if she's going to go full tilt into it or if this is just a tap.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because right now it's too early to see. Not it's too early to see completely, but it looks like they're doing something. They're trying to touch into it. But I'm like, if she's going to use this as a gimmick, she's got to go full gimmick, not gimmick in the sense that, yeah, this is like my thing, but I'm just going to still be a normal person. So, so there is that. And so I guess now to the bad and the ugly stuff here. Um, I did bring up about Oscar, but damn, I'm so glad she's back, bro. I miss
Absolutely.
that girl. I missed her so much. And she had such a strong match on Raw. However, I was just like, man, they really put her. They already trying to give us that taste of her versus Stephanie. Ooh, okay, all right, y'all a little crazy for that. Unfortunately, Liv Morgan fucked her shoulder.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hate to see it. Hate to see
Mm-hmm.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Jay Uso winning because he was the mystery person that got put into the Fatal Four Way.
Which a lot of people are really pissed about that.
What are they now? When are they pissed that he got put into it, or are
Yes,
they
they're
mad
pissed.
that Cody Rhodes came out there and completely took his shine away?
No, it was pissed off that they could have put somebody else in that slot, but they put Jay Uso after he just lost the title. So he literally just lost the title and he's being put in the King of the Ring where he can get another opportunity to get it back.
Yes, and I'm actually glad you said that because I also made the note of fact like, so I guess that the rematch clause just doesn't exist anymore for people,
There a lot
huh?
of people
We
even brought that
just
up too. Yeah.
what we just or are we did Jay not get a rematch clause in his contract? Because if not, I need somebody to start reading his contracts for him because that's booty. Because Gunther, he got his rematch clause.
Yep.
Like he got his rematch clause and he cashed in on it. And he got the belt back. But Jay has to go fight the King of the Ring for it.
Mm-hmm. You know what? Don't tell that to Rikishi. Don't tell that to
Oh
Rikishi.
bro, I've
Don't
I've
tell
been
that to
meaning to
Rikishi.
watch. Listen, his I saw a small piece of his crash out about his son losing, and then that leads us to the ugly
Oh.
Goldberg.
Oh, please. Jesus Christ. No. Oh my God. Oh man, that was a terrible promo, but go ahead. Yeah.
Next World Heavyweight Champion. It's
No, he's
happening,
not.
buddy.
No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's
Oh,
not.
oh, oh, oh. Oh, now we seeing Gunther winning this? We
Oh,
seeing
he
Gunther
better.
coming out on top? Oh, you said
Yes.
he better. You said he
Yes.
better.
Yes, because he said he wants one match. Goldberg said he wanted him to retire him. So he's not going on another run. He's just doing a match.
Okay, I guess we'll see.
He better. That's everybody said that was the reason with the whole match at like when they did it Bad Blood or whatever was like to hype it up so that Goldberg can have his one final match. And he was supposed to have it, and it's supposed to be whenever he has it, it's donezo.
Dunzo.
Yeah. Do you feel like he's gonna keep
So when
going?
Goldberg gets the title,
Oh, Buckaroo.
tell me how it's gonna run for you. How is
Mm,
that gonna make you feel?
I'm gonna say Hunter. How the fuck are you always complaining about the fans and how they hijack the show and do shit like that, and then you do shit like this? Cause then that's gonna make me call him a bitch.
The problem is for me, and because I hope that those words that I'm saying don't come to fruition. However, did you hear that Green Bay pop for Goldberg, bro? Like,
I mean, it's Goldberg's
you're
theme, bro. Like when that shit comes on,
like,
you get hype.
did you hear how hyped they was when he said that he was gonna fight and take that and fight for the title and all that stuff, bro? Like,
No,
oh, you
not in the
didn't,
slightest. No, I mean they weren't. They shouldn't have been hype. They shouldn't have.
bro, but they were.
I know.
Like, it was just something that people was talking about, and boy, oh boy, Busted Open. That boy Dave, fam, I love his
Crashed
crash
out.
out session.
Crash
And
out.
his crash out sessions are so entertaining to watch. And it's rightfully so. Like, I feel like he Crash Zion gets completely bent out of shape so that we don't have to. He's doing it for us. He is losing his sleep in his voice so that we can sleep soundly at night when
Mm-hmm.
BS like this goes down.
Mm.
Like, I just I think what I hate about it is the fact, like, and he was touching on this, is the fact that, like, we will complain. It's the problem with most wrestling fans. It's the fact that, we'll complain about somebody else, but then we'll forget in the same breath about the thing that we just said. We'll complain. It's like, man, I hate when part timers come in and
And then a
take the
part timer
spotlight,
comes in and then does the
and then a
thing.
part timer comes in and is like, man, I can't wait to see that match. And it's all like, you just okay, all right, okay,
It's how wrestling fans are finicky. Wrestling
okay.
fans are finicky.
Oh, like but yeah, Goldberg getting the belt.
Yo, this
Rematch clause
motherfucker
is
said he
dead.
said he getting it. God damn, bro. He just said, yeah,
Rematch clauses
Goldberg.
are dead. Jey Uso gets outshined by Cody Rhodes. Like, Jay still can't cut a good promo. 4 letters, one word.
Oh, I was trying to think of a word. Because you can't say
Oops.
ass, that's threes. Oops. Isn't that more than 4 letters? No. Yeah, because
Or
I'm
should I
thinking
or
of
should I have
no, no, no,
said
no, 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 no.
lost?
No, 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 no. Oops is right because it's 2 O's. Or yeah. Um, can't say trash. You can't say ass. Can't say bad. None of those things come to mind. But we could all say those about his promos, and it's just unfortunate because it's like if Rikishi's gonna complain as much about like you're not giving him a chance. Matter of fact, I can't even say Rikishi fix his promos because you didn't even have a good promo game, sir. You didn't
Listen,
even have a good promo game. I was literally about to try to be like, yo, man, help your son. You can't even help your son. You can't even do it. Like, fuck.
what's the last? besides I did it for The Rock. What was the last promo?
He did a good one against Austin. He's like, Austin, this is why I ran your ass up. That was like that one sentence. That one sentence was like, oh shit. Everything else,
That's not,
nope.
bro. That's not a promo. That's a statement.
I know.
That's the statement,
I
man.
know, but it's like, fuck. That was like, it was a part of that promo. So it's
I'm
like
like,
every
give
other
me one
promo.
iconic. That one iconic. That's not that I did it for The Rock.
Damn,
Promo.
that nigga ain't got
That Rock.
one fucking thing. Shit.
Besides the fact that he could dance his ass off.
No pun intended.
But yeah, nah, bro. Just it's
God damn.
the wrong twin got it, man. It is what it is. The wrong twin got it. I stand by that.
Yeah, the wrong twin did get it. You know what I'm saying? You all right.
I stand by that. So,
but here's the thing. Here's the thing. Jay ain't winning like Jim is right now. Do you see how Naomi's right now, bro? That nigga is, he always been winning, but that nigga is really winning right now.
Damn, listen, I mean,
he don't need the belt.
God bless Naomi for keeping Big Jim relevant.
Whoa,
all right, like
damn, bro, for real,
bro. I love my Usos, all right, dog. I love them, but Big Jim is spinning wheels. He's trying to get it in where he could possibly fit it in. Okay. And the only place he managed to get that was by trying to jump in and help out the United States champion, who just so happily is his cousin.
That shit's crazy. That shit's crazy.
So, aside, because like, he's like in spotty matches, you know, not doing nothing. Like, he's not doing anything. And it's like he's the Oos that can hold a promo. And he ain't had a mic in his hand since Gunther made him drink his own blood. Like,
hey, look, man. He's also the only person that slapped the piss out of Gunther and lived to tell the tale.
Yeah. Because Jay didn't do it.
Jay only told him, go talk to your mama.
And embarrassed him. You know. Man, it's some wild foolishness out here right now. Like, I mean, lo and behold, great matches, but people are so up in arms about this Goldberg thing. Like, the way people feel about Jay has been, like, when I see people who know wrestling, they're just all like, yep, Jay's a lost cause. The people who I know who watch wrestling, who are like big fans, are all like, I wish you would say something foul about Jay Uso. I'll beat the shit out of you. Like people real strongly for Jay, but at the end of the day, I'm just like, man, Jay can't do it for himself right now. Like,
nope. And
if they could put Jay in a spot where he did not have to give promos, because it's not like he gives bad matches. His matches are great. The eating is fun. But
no, that's the video I wanted to see. Dude working at a firehouse sub, and he's yeeting, and he's doing it in the office, and I think his manager comes up and turns that shit the fuck, turns it off. But I see that on your Facebook messenger.
Damn, I'll have to.
He just doing it hard, like he hard body, he into it, and you just see the employee come up to the radio, just the fuck. I'm gonna look for it real quick, but yes. Speaking of, before we kind of go into anything else, real quick, we're talking about all the, yes, it's Facebook Messenger, by the way, it's Facebook Messenger. All this reminds me of the original topic that I want to bring up, which I'm gonna probably bring it up for next episode. Give you a chance to I try to not give you too much time to prep, but I'm gonna treat you like Batman today. I'm gonna give you some prep. Because we've already had this scenario where we thought we knew each other as wrestling fans when it comes to music. I want to know, unanimous, what are our top fucking favorite wrestling games of all time? Top 10s. I want to know because I already know we have one. We have one that we'll probably rank in the same category, and that's a given. But now I want to know what other games in that ranking system for you is your top 10s.
That's a heavy one.
Mm-hmm. There's one that I know absolutely we're probably going to rank as boom. Yeah, like we can shake hands. But the other ones, out of a top 10. And it's going to be hard for me too, because that's going to be like a full. And this doesn't have to be just WWE, by the way. It could be any wrestling game. It could have
across the board.
It could be the car racing game. It could be the whatever. Even the mobile Immortals game. If that was your shit, boom, whatever. But it has to involve wrestling.
Fam, I'm not gonna lie. I wish Wrestling Immortals was just a console game. It was just. I really wish that we could have just got Wrestling Mortal Kombat because
that would have been lit.
That game would have been 1,000 times more playable and fun.
But before we end off today's episode, we want to say again, guys, thank you so much for sitting here watching us ramble, talk about the things that we love about wrestling, the passion that we have behind wrestling as wrestling fans for multiple years. I mean, this is what we're going to do. That's what every wrestling fan is going to do. We're going to have these moments where we could sit here for hours and just shit on one situation, scenario, give hypotheticals, all that kind of stuff. That's just what we do, right? And we appreciate you guys being here along the journey. If you have any of your own input that you would like to do, guys, put it in the comment section. We'd love to hear it. We're missing some of you guys' comments, right? And as well, we are on all streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you get your podcast. Please check us out, BBOD Podcast. It's the Masaku.
And it's your boy, Swag Switcher in the building. You signing out, boy.
Till next time, saddle. Meow.
I like it.